Hi everybody and welcome to this video. In this exercise we are going to read the value in the cell B10 and we're going to output it in a message box. We are not going to be able to reverse engineer the whole exercise. So we're going to have to look up a lot of stuff on internet. If you already have a little bit of experience in coding or if you're interested in coding, in that case I recommend you first try the exercise before watching the solution. If you have hardly any experience in coding, or if you're not really that interested but just curious, in that case I suggest you just follow along with the solution in a step-by-step manner and see what you can learn. So I'm going to get started with the solution now. If you want to try it yourself first, then stop the video here and I'll see you later. For the rest of us, let's get started. So, first we have to look up on internet how to make a message box. I'm going to use DuckDuckGo because I don't want Google or Facebook or any of the other big companies modifying my data, but that's another lesson entirely. You can use whatever search engine you like. Anyway, I'm going to use DuckDuckGo and I'm going to search for how to create a message box in Excel. Here I get a number of useful results. I'm going to try this line. Just right click and copy. Go back to Excel. Record a macro. Say hello. Select the cell, stop recording, view, and then select it and edit. I just paste the message box here and I run, and as you can see, it works. Perfect. Instead of saying this is fun, I want to write hello. And I want to select the cell before writing hello. Next, I need to look up a cell value. So I'm gonna search for it in DuckDuckGo. How to get a cell value. Here are some explanations. Let's try the first one. And let's click down here. And here we have an example. So a lot of these online sources have examples. Examples are very useful. This is the line we're going to use. If this is all a bit confusing for you, I would recommend reading the whole thing. But as for this video, I'm just going to skip ahead and use this result here. First, we have to make a new variable. We can do this with this line of code. Dim, and then the variable name, and then as variant. As variant simply means that it can be any type of content. It can be a number or a text or a date or whatever. Let's go back to the script and add the line of code here. This variable is empty now. So we need to get the value in the cell and we have to put it into the variable. Or in other words, we have to assign the value to the variable. We can do that with this line of code. So let's have a look at this line more closely. First we select this workbook and then the name of the worksheet and then the range and then the value. I'm going to simplify this a little bit. So there's no need to have this workbook here because the current workbook we are using is already open and active. Assuming that the relevant worksheet is currently the active worksheet, there's no need to specify this either. So I'm going to delete them. Next we change the cell number to B10. Now I'm going to change the message box message. Instead of just writing hello, I'm going to write the variable. So whatever value my variable has, that's what's going to be written in the message box. So let's test it. Good. The value in the cell B10 is test, and that's what we see in the message box too. Incidentally, we declared this variable as a variant, which is perfectly fine, but if we want to be a bit more precise, we can declare it as a text. In programming languages, texts are usually referred to as strings. So we can change this from variant to string and it should work fine. But we don't want to output just the value of the cell. We want to say hello and then the value of the cell. So let's search on our search engine to find out how to combine two string values together. This is actually called concatenate. And as you can see here, all you have to do is use the ampersand. So let's try it. First we have to write hello, and then ampersand, and then the text value within the variable. So let's test it. Hooray, it works! And that brings us to the end of this exercise. If you're interested in learning to make advanced macros, this is a good start. Remember, a lot you can learn just by recording macros and reverse engineering them. And a lot you have to research yourself too. If you are interested in learning more about coding, then I recommend that you first get a little bit of practice and then you start learning the basics of coding. You can find a lot of resources online, but it's a bit beyond the scope of this course. If you do decide to start learning more about coding, then you will learn a lot of interesting things, like about the if clause and about loops and about objects and classes, but I'm not going to get into that now. For me, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this module. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope it will be useful for you. See you next time. Bye bye.